Because it looks too good.
Yeah, I had no idea they did all that.
Yeah, this is what we picked, and we have a little sample to test out. Yummy! Cheers. The best coffee. Okay, so they didn't have a church schedule, so we didn't know what was happening. So,
Well, they did. We just didn't get one.
oh,
The lady beside me had one.
okay.
I just went to the wrong guy for one.
Okay.
But this is good too.
Yummy.
This could be a new habit. Not a good one, but. Okay. So you need to explain to me what Christian Reform is, because
Oh, I don't know if I can.
I thought you knew that.
But my background is Mennonite, and I just know that Christian Reform is similar in all the beliefs, you know, believing in Jesus as the Son of God and the Trinity, you know, the Holy Ghost. And that the basic beliefs are all the same. So I'm comfortable in a church like that because I know that what they believe in is what I believe in. It's all Bible-based.
Yeah,
And we could tell that that service was very Bible-based. So
absolutely it was.
sermon was really good. Yeah.
I enjoyed this sermon. I was worried at first when he started reading Hebrews 1 to 5.
1 to 10, I think it was.
Or 1 to 10, but yeah, because he started with 1 to 5. And I thought it was just going to be all reading. But then he kind of turned it around to explain what the words meant between having milk and eating and so on. And I felt that was really interesting.
And actually being really descriptive of who Jesus was. He was a man.
And that came across, yes.
Yeah. A man without sin, right?
Yeah.
Basically the...
Yeah.
So that was good. It was
But
well
he was
done.
powerful. It was under 30 minutes.
So that was a good length.
It was a good length.
The sermon.
The
Yeah.
sermon. The entire service was an hour.
They had lots of music, and some of the music was quite nice. It was a lot of similar music. So
Yeah,
I would say every song was similar to the next one. So a very traditional hymn type
Yeah, they were
stuff.
traditional, but they did do Amazing Grace, which I've never even heard in church, which I love.
It was very nice.
Love that
And that was
song.
actually an updated version.
Yeah.
The one chorus they added was a little bit updated. So
Yeah.
that was nice, though.
Yeah.
They do have an organ player, piano player, and a drum player, but the drum player basically just does a beat. Like
Yes.
a tap, 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 tap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't really play.
Yeah.
Probably wanted to. He looked like he could.
Yeah.
Because he was a young man. But yeah, they stay pretty safe with their music.
Yeah. Big building. You can tell they just had a renovation.
Well, it was either new or it was renovated, and the foyer was
Big
beautiful.
foyer.
Very contemporary looking
Yeah.
with curved seats and a coffee area.
A nice area for sitting and talking. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were invited to go for a coffee, but we didn't go.
Yeah, because then too many people would talk to us, and
Yeah.
it's just awkward.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like when I first got there, I didn't like it. I didn't like the feeling of it. I didn't like anything about. Yeah. When I first sat down, I was like, But
Maybe because we see the back of everybody's heads, and we were like not late, but right at the
right on
beginning.
time. Yeah.
And everybody was already seated, and there was a lot of white hair, meaning there was a lot of older people.
Yes.
So,
But it was full.
and we both agree that
really
we
full.
like more mixed. But there were some kids, like when they did a little children's thing at the beginning, there was maybe 10 kids up there.
Yeah.
So there are some younger people, but I would say 75% older people.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
definitely older people at this church, but full. They had a lot of people there, and a lot of people went for the coffee. They have a little coffee bar there with the couches and everything. So that part of it's beautiful. But once I got into it, I really liked the minister or whatever he's called. priest or pastor.
Would be pastor probably.
Yeah, but I liked him. He was powerful. He was emotional. And I liked how he tied everything together a lot. It was the first church service where they actually passed around
An
a
offering
collection.
plate, yeah.
Yeah. And
Although they do e-transfer as well.
Yeah.
For people who don't want to do it that way, but yeah.
yeah. But all in all, I liked it after a while, but at the very beginning, I wasn't comfortable. I felt it was going to be too biblical. It was going to be too heavy into tradition. But ironically, it lightened up during the sermon for me.
So I was comfortable with it from the beginning because it's a church that it's a type of church that I've been to before, so I was comfortable with the atmosphere and stuff. It was fine. So I was okay with all of it, but I don't know, overall, would it draw me back? I don't think so.
No, it wouldn't draw me back. And even though I liked the foyer, I didn't like how it opened right up into the church. I felt it was too open for me. I guess I like it more closed in, which I'm starting to find even from camping. I like things closed in a bit. So
that's a personal awareness thing, which is fine.
Yep. But during the singing, the whole congregation sang. It was almost like a glorious experience, especially Amazing Grace. It was like a room full of choirs. And so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the singing. So all in all, I felt the service and everything was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it was
just
nice.
not me.
I'd give it an 8, but I don't know if it'd be at the top of my list to go back to.
Right.
So far, I think the other one, Church on the Rock, is the one I would go back to because it had more emotion, and maybe that's what I'm looking for, more emotion. I want the basics. I want the biblical aspect. I want the structured service.
Yeah.
I want a mixed crowd, so it has a bit of life. But I want some emotion. I want to feel something when I'm there.
The only thing I'm not sure about with On the Rock that keeps kind of coming back to me is all of the activity behind us. That kind of bothered me.
Like distracting.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't notice it until you mentioned it to me, so I was focused at the front.
Well, that's like me today with the lady behind us.
So maybe if we sat
dogs.
closer to the front, you'd notice that less.
I'd almost like to try it again too, being closer to the front, because I was very distracted by the communion and the praying and the family movement.
Right.
And then this one, we were both distracted because someone had a breathing
issue behind us.
Which...
just coming out of COVID and stuff, I guess I still have some anxiety about people breathing heavy on me or coughing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not their fault. I think they had a disability or something.
Yeah.
But so maybe it's just poor seating.
Yeah.
Like we could have sat somewhere else, but we're not going to make a scene and move once we've already sat. So we already stick out because we're new.
Yeah. Well, we do stick out, but only one person kind of approached us and talked to us about, why we're there and do we want to go for a coffee. It was the lady beside me.
Us. Yeah.
And that was it. No one came up to us, talked to us, noticed us really. I mean, I'm sure in their quiet way they did.
I think some churches are more into outreach than others. And I think the Church on the Rock was very much into outreach.
Yes, we got a gift bag, which was full of chocolate.
And they wanted our personal information so they could mail us something. So that, they were reaching out a little harder.
Yeah.
But every church has a different focus, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That was so it was nice today.
It was nice today. We expected a 2-hour service and it was 1 hour. We expected a long drawn out sermon and I thought it was pretty dynamic. And most of the music was really good, but as you said, all songs started to sound similar and hymnish. I liked On the Rock where every song seemed different.
Yeah, and there was a little more upbeat.
Yeah.
And a little more praise, like a little more worshipy praise, like. But
yeah. But anyway, so cheers to Christian Reform.
Okay, see you next time.
Yep.